Okay, hello, welcome to this next video. This is going to look into a little more detail in specifically how to add a video to the mobile sequence. If you know how the mobile works, you also know how the tablet works. It's the same principle, and in a separate video we'll look into the whiteboard. Okay, so first of all, mobile. We've got this, assuming it's all enabled here on the left hand side. I'm going to pull this out, I'm going to hold down shift, put it out like that. We've got this mobile sequence here. Charlie brings out the phone from his pocket or from behind him. We've got these the actual demo sequence, and then we've got the end. Well, what you're looking at here on the video is actually a video that I made just quickly for this demo. So how do we add that video in there? Well, very simply, we'll jump into the first sequence that the promo video is actually seen. So specifically in mobile start A and B, the mobile phone isn't seen and it's just being accessed. Mobile start C is the first time we actually see the screen. Okay, so we see it there. This is where we want your promo video to be seen, of course, because the customer can see the phone approaching. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump into this sequence here. I'm going to close out these compositions there, so we've just got some focus, and here we have the mobile start C sequence, okay, where our promo video is first seen. So what you're going to see is if we drag the second hand or the ticker to the beginning, you're going to see 2 seconds here. Now what does that mean? Well, this video, I want to be really quick. I'm not going to go into time remapping, but that's what we're using here. The video is placed in this composition, and then we use time remapping to determine when the video is seen, or when the video is played, what portion of the video is played in this composition, okay, which is mobile start C. So the understanding of that isn't important for this video. What we're going to do is actually enter the composition add mobile video here, and you can see that there are 3 layers here. Most of these aren't going to be here actually in the final video, but for the example I've just added these in here. Now for the promo, you're going to see this, okay, which you're probably familiar with from the promo video, but in the demo, as I say, we're going to use this 30-second demo. So this is where you add your own video, right? So you find it in your Explorer on your hard drive, and then you drag it into the project panel wherever you want to. Perhaps you want to scroll to the bottom, right-click down there, whoops, right-click, new folder, and add your video there. Whatever you want to do, just ensure that it's not going to be moved somewhere on your hard drive, so that when you open this project later, of course, you don't want to be in a situation where it can't find it. So we've got our video in there, and then we've basically, very simply, I'll show you, right click, reveal source in project. We've very basically just drawn it in, right? Okay, we've dragged it in and it's now there. We'll assume that's your video. Okay, so as I say, the demo video for this project, it's actually 30 seconds long, just so I can demonstrate how we can change the length of the video or the animation relative to the length of your demo. So very simply, we've got the video there. You come back to the top level, you can see that even though the video is playing, remember it's time remapped, so you don't need to change multiple sequences. It's really simple. You just add the video in, and then you've got your video playing in all of these compositions here. But the problem is, we come 13, it comes up to 27. I mean, what's going on with that? It just jumps up. Out of the box, your video probably isn't going to transition smoothly into the end sequence where the phone goes back to Charlie. Now what's happening is that all of these mobile loops are playing sequentially. You've got mobile loop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we come into our project, you can see that there's far more loops here out of the box. There's actually about just over 50, so you're getting effectively up to a 1-minute demo video. You can make that longer if you want. You can fire me a question if you need to, or what have you, but most people want to go longer than a minute because, people's attention spans are very short online. So we've got, all of these are sequential, they're all time remapped, so your demo video will play sequentially in all of these compositions. Let's just throw in some more compositions here, just for demo purposes. Now this, might not line up perfectly with 30 seconds, but the point is you can see how it kind of works. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come to 25 here. Okay, I'm going to add those in. I'm going to position it below loop 10. I'm going to hold down shift just about where we want it and hold down shift, and then it is they all kind of laid where we want at least the first one. Now what we can do is select all of these new compositions. They're different colour, which helps, of course. I'm going to hold down Command or Control and just click on that top one, hold down Shift, moving along, rinse and repeat, hold down Command or Control, click, and then come down below. Whoops, that was inadvertent. My hand is having a spasm. Let's come back. And then hold down Command, which we want that one, Shift, and then move it along. It really is rinse and repeat from there. Let's get that done out of the way. I might do a quick cut here for you because you probably don't want to watch this. Whoops. Right, okay, so that's all positioned there nicely. I probably did a quick cut there. Afterwards, what we'll do is we'll just come to the end sequences here, and then we'll move them in fact, what we'll do, no, we'll just move the end sequences just for that. So you've got quite intuitively, hopefully you've got the loops here, and then you've got the end sequence where you've got the character, obviously the phone going back. Now, as you can see, all these new loops, they're actually playing the promo videos we expect simply because it's all time remapped to be set up. So you've got loop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're all sequential numerically. So if we come forward here, the only problem we have is with the end sequence, right? Which actually in this case I did the demo, the practice for this demonstration earlier, so it's not a problem. But what we'll do, I'll undo it so it makes more sense. So we'll come into A. A is the only, end A is the only sequence we need to change because as we come forward, this is where the phone is taken away, and then we can't see the phone for end B and C. So we'll enter A. And as you'll see here at the beginning, we'll come forward, you can see it's got 27 seconds on the timer here. Now for you, this might be, out of the box, it might be 13 seconds, it might be 15 seconds, or more specifically, your demo video might be 30 seconds, it might be 25 seconds, it might be 35 seconds. How would you change that? Well, very simply, what we're going to do, because I did this practice earlier, I'm actually going to change this so that I'm going to delete these two compositions here, just to make this really simple, and then move this back. So, holding Shift, and then we've got 25, and we've got, where are we here? And then we've got 27. Let's delete one more, just so it's a little more clear. Bring that up, Shift. Okay, cool. So we've got 24, and then, oh dear, we jump to 27. You can't actually see it that specifically, but I don't think that's lined up. 27, see that? It goes to 27, 25. To be honest, most customers probably won't notice this, but if you're a bit OCD like me, then it's got to be right. So 25, 27, it's not lined up. That's the simple principle here, or that's the simple point. Okay, so we'll go into end A. What we want to do, in fact, we'll open up the last loop we've got, which is 22, and we'll come to the beginning, and you can see it's 24 seconds, okay, for the time remap. It's playing the 24th second to the 25th of our demo. Now, what we want to ensure is that the end A sequence is actually 25 at the beginning, and not 27, which it currently is. So how do we change it from 27 to 25, which is going to get us the length we want? Well, very simply, we're going to tap Command or Control K to bring up composition settings. You can also access it in composition settings. We're going to come over here, we're going to change this to 5 minutes, okay, just to give us a bit more space, which is what we need. You can see a random keyframe here, or it seems random. It's not random, it's because the sequence is time remapped. That's one keyframe that we want to see. Whoops, made it a bit too big there. We want to grab the blue layer and bring it out until we see another keyframe, which you can see here now, okay. So this is basically how we get to our 27 seconds. What I'm going to do now is bring the second hand here. I'm going to hold down Shift and come to the beginning of where our little blue layer is here. And you see it says 27 seconds. Now we're going to select both of these keyframes, which represent the beginning and the end. And you'll see as we move, if you keep an eye on this timer here, as we move these two keyframes, the timer actually changes. And what do we want? Well, we want that to be, whoops, not that one. We want it to be 25 seconds, right, because it follows this. So, move this along, 25, you might have to zoom in a little bit more just to get the accuracy here, whoops. And then we're going to move in 25, and now it's 25 seconds, okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in, just so we can see, we can grab the blue layer, we're going to pull it back, hold down shift, so it's right at the beginning, okay. And it might decide to be a bit difficult. So zoom in, boom, that's it, Command or Control K, we're going to get rid of that 5, we're going to change to 0, and then we'll come back to the beginning, you can see we've now got 25. So we've got 24, and now we've got 25, and it carries on neatly. That's all you need to do, right, for changing this, or for setting up the length, because now you can see it stays as 25, and the video will continue very smoothly. You don't need to change these two, you just need to change that one. And that in a nutshell is how to set up your demo video for the mobile sequence, but it's the exact same principle for the tablet sequence. So in the next video we're going to look into how to set up the whiteboard, which you'll be pleased to know it's a bit easier. So let's get into it.